Hello everyone and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Before I start with my daily statement, I would like to say that I'm going to provide today's analysis for free, including option trading, but unfortunately excluding trading light exchange walls, and maybe one of you have the possibility just to provide this information because I just forgot that my credit card, the validation was ending end of May, and the bank sent me the new credit card, but unfortunately I'm still waiting for the new PIN. So yeah, Trading Light just accepts credit card payment, so I can't renew my subscription right now. That's also why we want to move out from Substack, because Substack it's also only using Stripe and only accepting credit card payments, something I don't like at all. Even I have a credit card, but many people don't have a credit card and so on and so forth. It's not really flexible. Well, I don't really have a statement, just to bring again and to mention, please, please, please make your own research. Don't let you guide by anyone, not me, not anyone, at any time. Okay? I'm providing data, metrics, option trading, future trading. Just try to understand. I mean, I'm making these videos every day and also providing a lot of information for free. Use this information. It's crucial that you understand what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I'm going to stop to react to any tweets like inspo, pump or dump, up or down. I mean, guys, sorry, but if you are going to drive a car, you are not going to open the window and ask the next person next to you just, can I accelerate now? Can I brake? Should I make a U-turn maybe? That's how it works. If you want to make something like trading or driving a car or whatever, you need to understand how it works. And I'm trying to provide all information, even much more than the basics, to understand how the whole market works. To blame me, just saying many people missed the short opportunity yesterday because I called, well, it looks like we can go 32 to 33K based on option trading. I have tweeted all charts based on option trading, and everyone knows it was possible, but it is also possible until the expiry date. So it doesn't mean that's going to happen today, tomorrow, maybe next week, but it was looking very interesting because we were very close to the price ranges and they did this trade yesterday. So yeah, I thought we can go to 32, 33K yesterday, and I was ready for that, but I didn't miss to jump in and to short at 31.5. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, hey, short at 31.5, but because maybe we are not going to hit 32K. That's your own responsibility. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not going to be your financial advisor, and I'm not going to be in at any time in the future your financial advisor. Okay, so it's crucial to make that. You know, I have blocked this guy on Twitter because he claimed that because of my call, many people just missed the opportunity to short at 32K. But at the same time, exactly the same guy just tweeted just after me, after I have said, hey, we should go to 32, 33K, but we are not going to 35K. Almost he did a copy paste on his own wall and tweeted that, and then to come to me and to blame me for that, that's just nonsense. That shows how toxic some people are. And just because of you all guys, so you are motivating me because I know that 90% of you, um, yeah, like what I'm doing. They understand what's my goal. It's to, yeah, a little bit to kick your ass and to learn all this stuff because that's really important. Not only now in this very, very difficult market situation, but afterwards as well. Okay, so let us talk now about the whole market situation. Well, I mean, the 30 hours moving average is lifting up again. That's something we don't like to see, and we can see also here that it's hitting again 92%. And the last time we had such 92%, we know what happened. Yeah, we dumped. So that's something I think, and you know, I'm bearish. I'm bearish because of the macroeconomic situation, geopolitical situation, monetary policy, and so on and so forth. So the whole package doesn't look great, but only down doesn't exist. Usually, I would expect something like a move up again and then down, and then even more down. So hitting 28, maybe even 27, and that's something I'm still missing. I don't think that the weights ratio daily of 22%, so the 30 days moving average, just played out. That's my opinion. It's declining right now. That's everything fine, but in my opinion, it didn't play out yet. So we should see a move down to the downside soon, in my opinion, and we need to see. I can't tell you it's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen, I don't know, in 1 week. I really don't know that, and that's why I'm spending every day analyzing the markets and even spending a lot of time every day in front of the screens just to check if something is changing because the whole market is very dynamic. It doesn't make sense just to check all the data in the morning and to say, okay, now I have a trade strategy. Doesn't work. If an hour later we are getting 10,000 Bitcoin to the spot exchanges and maybe 10,000 Bitcoin to the derivative exchanges, something will happen. And my whole trade strategy is nonsense. So that's why, and that's something we need to have in mind. The wealth ratio right now it's at 95, indicating every Bitcoin, almost every Bitcoin coming into spot exchanges is related to whales. So not bullish at all. The stablecoin supply is declining once again after it was lifting up very well, and the stablecoin reserves on exchanges is lifting up. That looks organic for me. Organic means it doesn't look like the exchange itself was refilling here. Maybe here and that here maybe could be a refill operation or here by um, the exchange itself. Usually that looks like whales are coming in and yeah, just converting USD, euros, whatever in stable coins, or just bringing stable coins from outside and buying some tokens. And that's why the whole stablecoin reserves on exchanges is lifting up. Well, as mentioned, the weights ratio, the 30 days moving average, it's declining. It reached 22%. That's very close to what we have seen last year and summer before we had the pump. So we should see a rising sell pressure, and we need to see how, yeah, how far they will bring the price down. I'm not sure yet. Not yet. So let us take a look to the flows. Well, I mean, yesterday you remember I have tweeted about that. We were receiving a lot of stablecoins, but at the same time, we could detected a lot of stablecoin outflows from the spot exchanges. And you see here that the net flow related to stablecoins was, well, I mean, the net flow here almost 80 million or 70 million or something. So not really big, indicating that they could go up a little bit more. And so I was expecting 32K, a little leg up, and then create this. What I had in my mind and the scenario I had mentioned before is just make this double top and then go down hard, but didn't happen. Instead, yeah, the maximum was 31,700, and even here 31,600, but the sell pressure was very high, and afterwards in the night I was sleeping. They nuked very hard afterwards, and as you can see, we reached even a level below we had before. Will check the CVDs later on, I guess, that the market maker sold. So it was again a distribution. He sold even more than before. And yeah, so Bitcoin related inflows, right now it's lifting up. We can see that here if we, okay, now it looks better. We received just within the last 1 hour 1,600 Bitcoin, the hour before 1,700 Bitcoin, 2 hours before 1,000 Bitcoin. So it's not that big anymore, but taking into account our lack of demand and of course our volume, it's big enough to let yeah, nuke the price again, because I don't see all these bitcoins here, and I guess they were accumulating again and expecting such a move up like I did. It was actually yeah, very accurate. I said DXY is going to go down. That's just a correction. In my opinion, we're still on track, and we will see the retest of 105, and SPY will go up. That's what happened. Also temporarily, in my opinion, and Bitcoin will follow, and that's what's happening right now. Actually, I would like to see Bitcoin just a little bit higher. That's not enough for me, but maybe, I don't know. At the moment, I'm struggling if I should start to short or just to stay out of the market right now and to wait what's going to happen next. Sometime that's really healthy just to do that. We received today 37,000 Bitcoin outflows. Nobody knows exactly what happened here. At the beginning, I was convinced it was on Binance, but it was on Coinbase. Something I'm really struggling and wondering why exactly Coinbase, because Coinbase, the volume in the last few days was extremely low compared to Binance. They have, it seems, a bigger problem with demand there. And why Coinbase? For me, it doesn't make any sense. And we can check just for a moment what happened. I mean, to be honest, I didn't notice that, but the Coinbase Bitcoin reserves was rising a lot, and yeah, and today they took all of these bitcoins again out of the reserve, so almost 37,000 right now. It's lifting up again, so we can see almost 2,000 bitcoin arrived on Coinbase again. So it seems that big whales on Coinbase are selling. That's not retailers, and that's also not necessarily bullish in my opinion, because I thought that at least US whales would be bullish, and it doesn't look like at the moment. So we need to see what's going to happen. The dump yesterday, and that's also something I can show here, was mainly driven by actually by FTX. Um, Gemini also had a bigger fund flow, but here, for example, we have Bitfinex, and I guess, let me check. No, we have here another. Oh, who is that? Who is that? I don't know. Another exchange, it seems it was involved. Usually, if you see, for example, um, on the top, big fund flows, usually that doesn't mean that these guys are buying the top, except, of course, it's Michael Saylor. But usually that means, like here, for example, that they are just sending bitcoins to the exchanges. And I mean, if they have, for example, their money and their exchange wallets, they just make the transaction within the exchange. You wouldn't see that in the flow activity, but you can detect such kind of movements with the fund flows. And for example, when I see something here, usually I would expect, okay, they are buying the dip, but doesn't look like. It looks more that the dip was bought via OTC, for example, and we are receiving right now in that local top we are seeing right now at 29.8 30K a bigger OTC activity, network activity, but as you can see, not related to any centralized exchange, and usually that's a potential sign of bigger activity on OTC. So it seems someone again is preparing something, doesn't look that bullish, to be honest. Also here, Bitfinex, a huge move close before we lifted up, indicating it seems that Bitfinex here was, yeah, preparing maybe this pump here. um, and also here, if you see Coinbase, also very interesting. A lot of activity here by Coinbase. Didn't see that for a long, long time. And also Bitfinex. So in my opinion, as we see yeah, the whole top here and even the dump afterwards was prepared by FTX and by Bitfinex, and it seems also Gemini. And we remember FTX and Gemini were two exchanges involved in dumping the market, and maybe also Bitfinex. But Bitfinex was showing less fund flow, so it wasn't in my scope. However, just back to the flow activity, and yeah, in my opinion, those 30,000 Bitcoin, 37,000 Bitcoin, it's not really clear what happened with those. If someone bought those because it was a brand new wallet. I know just a month ago Coinbase announced they are making new wallets and shifting bitcoins from A to B. Maybe that's related to that, and that's such kind of cold wallet. I really don't know. Some followers just mentioned Justin's son just announced to buy Bitcoin. I think that was for 10 billion US dollars to bake their USDD, so the new stablecoin they have created, something that's, and I'm absolutely sure, very healthy for the market, of course, as we have seen with Luna, that ended very well. So we will see if that's going to happen again, because last time it was 2 billions, I think, or 2.5 billions. Now we are talking about 10 billions. So if that ends well, you know exactly we will have a bigger dip. So yeah, we need to see. Let us take a look to the option trading now. Also something I don't like, and it brings me a little bit in trouble because I don't know how to interpret this. Yesterday, let us skip a little, just for a little moment, this chart here, and let us take a look, for example, to the blockchain whispers. Because yesterday I have noticed something very interesting. And I remember I tweeted about that with another follower, so I need to check that tweet. Yesterday night, just, I don't know, just before I went to bed, so that was maybe 2, 3 hours before the dump, the nuke. It was really a nuke, that wasn't a dump. I noticed that the shorts just rised like a rocket. We had yesterday night more shorts than longs, and the longs were 1.5 billion, and we had just in few hours we generated almost 900 million in shorts. But at the same time, the aggregated funding rate and even the funding rate for Binance was neutral. That's not possible. That's absolutely not possible. It doesn't that's not how it works. I mean, the funding rate is just indicating the demand. If you are demanding more longs, the funding rate will lift up. If you are demanding more shorts, the funding rate will decline. That's the whole story. It's absolutely not magic at all. If you are generating 900 million or 800 million in shorts within 3 hours, the whole funding rate for Binance should be extremely in red, so extremely in minus. It wasn't. It was neutral. Something I really don't know how to interpret that because is blockchain whispers the wrong data, or is, for example, because I was using different sources yesterday to check that, or is it CoinGlass? Because CoinGlass yesterday, Binance funding rate was neutral. And I mean, that's actually the, I would say, almost, yeah, as you see, a live funding rate. And then I checked here our future trade, and it was just lifting. You can see that. I mean, that's the history. Look that. It's I was really struggling yesterday, and but the case is we dumped, we nuked, and it makes sense. But how can Binance hide that related to the funding rate? That's something I really don't know. But it happened. It happened yesterday. I can prove that. And that's something I'm really struggling. I really like blockchain whispers, and in my opinion, blockchain whispers is making a great because it matches very well to the whole sentiment in the markets as well. And we know that people prefer to long than to short, so it really makes sense. However, yeah, I was a little bit, maybe I'm reading the chart, um, yeah, just wrong. I really don't know. I mean, if I see the open interest is rising and the funding rate is rising, it just means people are demanding more longs. So how is that possible that the biggest exchange like Binance bringing 900 million volume in shorts are not showing here? That's something, yeah. So, however, right now funding rate up, it nuked with extremely delay. I don't know if CryptoQuant is showing also the last 8 hours average here. I don't think so. Otherwise, it couldn't lift up here. So I don't know why it declined with such delay, to be honest. and like it did here, but it started, for example, it started to decline before we nuked, and here it was even when it have started to nuke, people were demanding more longs. I don't know. I really don't know. So the open interest declined a lot because, of course, when people were demanding longs, it says they went long and they got liquidated. And the leverage ratio, well, it's the same pattern here. So it was up and then it dumped very hard. So if we check, for example, here, that's our stablecoin net flow indicating more stablecoin inflows to derivative exchanges than outflow. However, doesn't look that big as well, not like we have seen in the past. We can take a look here. We received 180 million in the last hour, but outflow 86, and just before 69 million inflow, 54 outflow, so nothing really big. And we had here, after actually the big nuke, 226 million outflow. So it would indicate, in my opinion, that they took profit here after they went long, it seems, after we reached our local bottom here. And well, related to Bitcoin, since yesterday, almost flat. We received the maximum 2000 Bitcoin. Usually we receive 5000, 6000, or whatever. Not happening at the moment. So also here it seems some people really shorted with Bitcoins as collateral. Otherwise, maybe they got liquidated, but we are talking here about 7000, 8000. That was yesterday. And even here another 3000 Bitcoin. I don't know. It or they didn't use them, maybe also possible. However, the net flow looks a little bit more red than green, indicating more Bitcoin outflows from derivative exchanges. Let us take a look here, for example. Well, we can check the Binance liquidation map first. I know that this analysis is going to be a long one, but I prefer to explain um, more stuff. Well, I mean, we have here an interesting short liquidation cluster, but yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about that. People still longing, and shorts. It's yeah, it's. I wouldn't say I'm the only one shorting, but the short team is compared to the long team really small. Yeah, even there. I mean, looks better. However, I mean, the volume declined a lot. We had a big volume yesterday with more longs, but also here you can see that's yeah, a big difference between both. We see here a big cluster, much more volume in longs than in shorts. However, I think at least this one could attract the exchanges to lift up to 30,000. Let us say maybe let us say 31,000 to liquidate this one. However, if liquidations are their goal, we need to go more down, and that's something, yeah, we need to see. I mean, that's something we need also to think about. I mean, exchanges, lack of demand, less retailers. We have seen a really low volume last weekend, for example, and exchanges are making with money with that. That's it should be their main business to make money with their fees. And if that stops, they need to generate money with alternative businesses, and one of them is to liquidate their own clients, for example, with crazy candle weeks or whatever. We know it happened in the past, and yeah, to be honest, at the moment, if that's the goal, if that's the business right now, it doesn't look good for longs, because we still have too many longs, much more than shorts. Let us take a look now to the option trading. So, our gamma walls, we still have our biggest and really huge, and as you see, it's at the same, the call wall and put wall. They have the same size, so very strong one at 30K. And that's really a strong one. So usually that is indicating a big resistance there. If you are above a 30K, a big support. If you are below, a really huge resistance. And we have even a bigger resistance at 32K, based on this gamma call wall at 32. And of course, we have at 28 still one and 25, but those two are the biggest, 30K and 32, and 30K it's just really huge. The GAX declined, of course, after yesterday's nuke, but it maintains positive. That's not critical, 26,800, but it gives us more space to the downside than to the upside. Now let us take a look to the statistics. And maybe I need to explain here something. When I see a trade, a big, and I'm talking about big volume, when I see something like premium volume 1 million, 2 million, sometime 500,000, it's also enough. And I see, for example, short term. Short term means for the next couple weeks, trader smart money with big volume is expecting a price above of 32K, 33K, for example, limiting upside move. Um, then it means that from now on until the expiry date, he needs to reach that price level. Usually, when you see such kind of trades for the current month, it means they are expecting such a price move short term. Usually. Of course, you can have some exceptions, but usually it happens. So when I noticed this big volume trades yesterday, I've called this 32, 33K, doesn't mean it's going to happen today or even tomorrow. Like it happened. We nuked afterwards, and I guess we will see 32, 33 in this month, but also lower price levels. We have a lot of puts at 26, 25. Of course, we need to check them. If they close them, maybe they did, then it's not, yeah, it's invalidated. That's something we need to check. However, let us take a look. Bear call spread. Let us check to notional. Okay, 32 million. Oh, nothing. 30 million. Oh, that's tiny. Okay, let us take a look here. And we can see. Oh, they have started a new week, I guess, right? And that's why these 25, 26 doesn't appear anymore. Yeah, yeah, it looks like. Okay, so if we want to see if those 25K puts are still there, we need to check here. Wow, yeah, 13,000 puts, 25K. even 13,000. They are so extremely out of the money. I really don't get that. Yeah, they are still open. They are still open. So we still have those 25k puts extremely out of the money still alive, and we received even more, but not that big anymore. As you can see, 12 million, but well, 12 million. And the biggest one, 40 million and 34k, and 32 million and 31 million and 32k as well. So let us take a look to the strategies. So we have for June a really wide trade range based on options between 33 to 25. That's really crazy. So let us take a look. Here we have this one, it's interesting, and maybe this one, and maybe this one, and that's it. So we have the short strangle, bear call spread, and bull call spread. And let us, as usual, the custom strategy. Oh no, 6,000. That's nothing. So bear call spread. Let us take a look. So sold for much money and bought for less money. I really don't care about that. I really don't care. It's actually short term, and he's refinancing those this new trade. Actually, well, it's not a new trade because there it's a combination. He is just refinancing this 33 K call to buy the 36 K call. So I wouldn't say that's really useful. Yeah, it's always the same, it seems. He sold for 60 and bought 34. Hmm. Because yeah, it's he's just spending less money for that. That was the big difference to the 25k puts, for example. They spent much more money in premium to buy those. And usually, if you have to spend much more money in premium short term to buy something that's out of the money, and I mean, they spent the whole volume was 1.5 million US dollars for June. Usually, they know something, but bull call spread, I guess it's exactly the same. Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. They changed something. Uh, It seems like the price of the premium changed within an hour or something, and then they, just to make a quick money, they sold and did the opposite trade afterwards. So if we take a look, for example, here, that was today at 5, today? No, yesterday, 5:17. We go now to the bull call. Yeah, that was tonight. Yeah, okay. So forget the bear call spread. The bull call spread is the only one he is interested in. And as you see, he saw the 33k calls to buy the 30k calls. So he thinks that the price is going to be limited upside between 32, 33, 34, something like. And yeah, well, I mean, that matches very well to the option trades from yesterday, right? So where they spent a lot of money for 32 and 33,000. So yeah, I would say that matches very well to my scenario, and hopefully we will see this 32K because that would be a nice, interesting price level, and then we need to see if it makes sense to short them or not. Short strangle, they sold. Okay, they closed all of them, so not useful. Okay, so let us say it matches to yesterday's option trades. They are still expecting a price range between 32 33,000. So, CVDs, what happened yesterday? Well, first of all, we can see that FTX was also pushing the price down, not that much. Like, I need to adjust a little bit the chart. But we can see here, for example, they have started, I've mentioned that yesterday, they have started to distribute when we reach the top and then even more just to dump the price. So they both in that region here and even before, and they have started to sell here and of course then to push down the price with FTX as well. And Bitcoin, as mentioned before, they dumped with Bitcoin collateral. That doesn't match to my theory of they love to long with Bitcoin. It seems they love also to short the market with Bitcoin collateral, and it was much more than with futures yesterday, so also very interesting, and we should have that in mind. Makes the whole situation a little bit more complex because if they start to use Bitcoin collateral to dump and to pump, then we really need to take a look more to the funding rates and to the open interest. And the problem is you will not see that because when you see these guys are starting to demand shorts, it's too late for you. You will not have the enough time just to place your short afterwards, and that's the big problem we have. They are not even trying to prepare the whole situation. They use that just to nuke it, and that's it. A little bit complicated, the whole situation then. So if we take a look, for example, that's Binance Spot, and we can see what's happening on Binance, for example. So here, let me. Binance is selling and selling and selling and selling even more and more and more, and the market maker and different entities they use Binance. So I don't know why they are so bearish at the moment because I wouldn't think that. I really don't. But Binance is constantly just selling. If we take a look, let me see. That was, yeah, Binance. That's Binance Perp, for example. Also here we see that even here the funding rate was all the time neutral, and then here, that was after the nuke, it has flipped to flipped to negative. I'm taking a look. 8 o'clock. Oh, okay, that makes sense here. I need to see if they. Ah, okay. They are updating here the funding rate every 8 hours. That's something that the exchanges do, so it makes sense. On CoinGlass, it looks like it's live. There, for example, here, it looks like, I'm not sure. Does it say that every 8 hours? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here. all rates quoted are okay. Then it makes sense. Then it makes sense. Well, that's crap, to be honest, because if it shows you a positive funding rate for the last 8 hours, it's not useful to detect any preparations, for example. Yeah, okay. But yes, it makes absolute sense to make this funding rates every 8 hours. But sometimes it's flashing here, and I thought they are just refreshing the data. They have something like a live funding rate, but it's not. It's absolutely not. Okay, so good to know. Yeah, makes sense then why we can't track that. And yeah, so hmm, they went short. They demand a lot more shorts. That's why the funding rate declined that hard. But can't we can't track that. The only thing that's live is open interest, for example, and yeah, you can see there were just here the open interest. Maybe that was the preparation, um, but even then, I wouldn't say that was really big. The whole preparation, I think they just started to short and short, 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 and at the same time they liquidated a lot of longs we have there. So it looks like it at least. But yeah. Okay, so let us take a look to also to our market makers. And I have mentioned yesterday, for example, we received 3,300 fund flow by the market makers, and afterwards 1,600. Those 1,600 went directly to spot exchanges, for example, and afterwards another 3,200 Bitcoin. And those went also directly to the spot exchanges. But I didn't notice that anymore because I was, yeah, just hitting to my bed. And just take a look to the yeah when they did everything. I mean that was here. It seems the preparation for derivatives. So they shorted with Bitcoin and they sent these Bitcoins then spot exchanges to prepare the nuke, and afterwards another 3,000 Bitcoins to spot exchanges, and afterwards they nuked. So they did money shorting at the same time they distributed. Nice. At the same time, right now, for example, just close before we lift up another 1,000 Bitcoin from market maker, and just an hour ago, another 1,380. Nothing big, absolutely nothing big. So I'm really chilling at the moment because that's nothing where I would say, something big is going to happen. Not yet. It's one of my indicators when I see the market maker is bringing some, yeah, some bitcoins to derivatives. I check all charts, all the data again to see up or down, because if I see spot, I know it's just down. It's not going up, or, well, I mean, maybe they want to distribute their way up, something, of course, institutionals and weights like to make, but it's not the same. So then I have a different approach to check the data, of course. However, at the moment, a little bit active, nothing big. We need to see what's going to happen here next. If I see it's rising even more, then I would expect a price a little bit more up, and then they should start to nuke again. These guys are in distribution. Um, Crypto Capo, I think, this guy with almost 300,000 followers, Crypto Capo, I think is his name? I need to check. I'm sorry. Maybe I don't think he is watching that, but in case. Crypto Capo, yes, El Capo of Crypto. Um, he said today something. What I'm saying since I don't know, since weeks, since month, that everything looks like redistribution. Usually, um, before a bear market, when they start to distribute their way up to the top and they distribute even more in the top, for example, and the price starts to decline, this transition from the top is done, so the whole distribution from way up to the top is done. I will show you in that example here. Usually they like to distribute here, okay? So they way up, well, not here maybe. They trigger, for example, here the pump, and they start to distribute here. They distribute even more and more and more and more. When they are done, they trigger the nuke just to generate fear. People start to sell, and then they trigger like a chain reaction. And then you have moments where the price just retraces a little bit and maintains here, for example. That's redistribution. They are not accumulating here, they are just selling more. Okay? They buy low, they sell high, but they sell more than they bought before. That's the redistribution. When they are done, they shift to the next level, down again. They start another redistribution and then down again and again another redistribution. It's even possible to go up again. So it doesn't mean we are just going down and then redistribution, up again, redistribution, down again, redistribution, until you have your accumulation phase. So when the market maker or the institutional is done, when he says, okay, I have distributed enough, I need now the dip, I need to refill my bags to prepare the next bull run, for example, then it's when he aggressively starts to nuke. And there is where he starts to absorb from weekends, like we have seen last year in summer, for example, in May. Okay, that's the situation where they start to accumulate. Something I'm still missing, and that's the big problem. If that, if all the thing we are seeing is redistribution, and I know they own millions of bitcoins, that can take months. And I hope it's not going to happen. I really hope the expectations is, I don't know, to sell as much as they did last year. If that's the case, we are close to be done, because we can take a look to the entity, for example. I know I'm explaining a lot of stuff today, but maybe I really hope that you get everything, and I, it will take time, absolutely. But so take a look here, for example. That's our market maker. At least entities involved or related to the market maker, because they have the best trade behavior. They work sometimes like it would be one person. They do something where I'm wondering how they can do that, but they do that. So as you see, it's lifting up, but it's not accumulation. And that's what they did last year, for example. That was the situation where they started to absorb from the weekends. When we arrived in May, our bottom, after the huge and very aggressive dump phase, they have started to accumulate. Accumulating while at the same time they are forming fake rallies. So buying low, go up, distribute even more. Just make profit, but selling less. And that's the question. That's the big difference to redistribution, where they sell more than they bought before. In um, in that phases, it's the opposite. They sell less than they bought before because they are in accumulating mode, so they want to buy the dip. And every time after every fake rally, the prices dumps even more deeper, and they start to buy this dip. So these guys are the architects of every fake rally. If you take a look, for example, you let me, oh, I don't want to close them, but yes, I'm going to close them now. So now we can see that fake rally 1, fake rally 2, fake rally 3. Every time, what did they do? Fake rally, buying, 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 buying even more, and selling hard. So that's where they started, well, not only, but that's where they started to sell, for example. Because between where they bought and when they send these bitcoins from OTC or centralized exchanges to their wallets, it takes time. So it's delayed here. You can see that, of course. And usually what they are doing is buy, the price goes up, and then trigger, the price goes down. They buy even more on the dip. They trigger another one. So they go up again. Okay, like you can see here, it's exactly the same move. They trigger, they sell. Look, that was, many people thought it's a spring. It wasn't a spring. They bought then just even more. And that's the fact, and that's how it works. And this phase is not here yet. They are not doing it. Yes, they are creating fake rallies, but they are not accumulating. Maybe that's the beginning, and then the next progress here should be go up. That will be a confirmation of accumulation, and then I will flip to bullish. Because when this guy starts to accumulate, you know they are preparing the next big rally. As soon these guys just are forming this kind of fake rallies like they did before, and to sell even more later on, I'm out. They are not accumulating. And these guys are very accurate. As said, they have the best trade behavior from all entities. From all entities, they have the best trade behavior. Well, personal conclusion, that's it, because I don't have anything else. I would say we talked a lot of stuff today. I have provided more insights, I think. And yeah, I mean, my personal conclusion here, let us take this chart because that's the most important one at the moment. Yesterday I have said DXY is going to make a correction tomorrow, and that will lift up SPY. And actually, I also said, and Bitcoin should go up as well, just following SPY. To be honest, it did, but not like expected. Also, just because the market maker didn't reach, it seems, the price level he wanted. Otherwise, he would use these opportunities of fake rallies. They just trigger the pump, they buy a little bit, people jump in, they go up, distribute the top, nuke a little bit, so they trigger the dump, people start selling in panic, and he starts to buy the dip. As you can see here, that was a perfect situation for a fake rally. Just to go up, distribute, go down, and buy here from weekends, for example. Not doing. Look what SPI is doing. Lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. Of course, we have a huge resistance at 30K. But That's it. It doesn't look strong. Take a look. We are talking about here Bitcoin USDT, so Binance. And it doesn't look really great, to be honest. If you check SPY, it looks strong. Even the volume lifted up, now it's declining. Wherever they are reacting to DXY, Bitcoin, it's really doing nothing at the moment. It doesn't look well. So they don't want to let the price go up, and someone is preventing to let go the price down even more. I'm still convinced 28.5 is the key level. If we lose 28.5, we make a retest, we fail the retest, so 28.5, right now it's a support. If we have a break of 28.5, it's going to flip to resistance. Then we should make the usual retest. So what I'm talking about, I'm show you that we have 28.5 here. So in case we will go down, for example, I don't know, right now it looks like we went up, we want to retest. If we fail here, we will go down again. That's, I mean, that's what happens, okay? Um, we will maintain here, go down again, maintain here, go down again, maintain here, retest. So the first retest failed, maybe then down, then it's your resistance, fail here and then down even more. And then we will go down to 25, 26, somewhere there, maybe hopefully form the, yeah, what I like to see is this double bottom scenario, and then go up like crazy, let them quick accumulate, and that's it. At the moment, didn't happen. We need to see what's going to happen next, because 30K, it's really crazy, and you see what they had to do yesterday just to cross 30K. So we need such a very powerful candle. The problem of such pumps is, and that's why I call them scam pumps, they have a very short life cycle, because they go up but it will go down again. It's without any demand, without any supply. They just push, 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 push up, and that's usually not bringing the um, their results well they want. I mean, they don't want actually to go up, otherwise they could go up even more. That wouldn't be the problem, but they just don't want that. That's just a fake rally again. Go up and down, and that's it. Okay, so we have 30K, 32K, huge resistance we need to break if we want to go up even more. Otherwise, 28.5 is the magic level for the bearish party. If we have our retest, we fail, down. And then we need to see what's going to happen next. In my opinion, we will see something like 32 very soon, in my opinion, in the next few days. But yeah, the problem we have two extreme sides. We have the bearish one, the puts 25K, 26K, and also 28K, for example. And on the other side, we have calls at 32K, 33K, everything for this month. And these guys are big. We are not talking about retailers, we are not talking about sharks, we are talking about really big guys with big money. And no one of them is going to invest 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 70 million, and 25K puts for this month if they don't know it's going to happen. And the same with the 32K. So the question right now is, are we going to see the 25K before or after the 32, 33K? And that's a question I can't respond at, at the moment. That's it for today. It was a little bit different this time just because of my credit card issue and without exchange walls. That's something that's really sad, but I will work on that, and hopefully, I don't know if tomorrow, but at least Thursday I can have an active credit card again, so I can pay my subscription on Trading Light, and I can introduce the exchange walls again because that's part of the whole picture. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. I know that was a very long session today, but I really tried today to bring you more knowledge, and hopefully that helps you to understand better the market. Big love, your Inspo. See you tomorrow.